Hello everyone and welcome to a 4.3.4 Affliction Warlock PvP guide. In this video I'm going to be going over some talents, the glyphs, uh, um, stat priorities, all that good stuff, some macros that I use. Please note that this is a private server, so there is going to be some flaws, there is going to be some bugs, and yeah. And my apologies for the lag. I am currently at 5 frames per second because my laptop is shit. So let's just get straight into it with the talents. So of course you want to go into the Affliction tree if you're watching this because it's Affliction guide. Just a quick note: this is my personal preference as well. This isn't what you should go with. This is what I have gone with, because that's what I feel comfortable with. Go with what you are comfortable with. Because if you try and play like someone else, it's not going to work. Play how you are comfortable. So let's get into it. We go 2 out of 2 in Doom and Gloom. Increases the critical strike of your Bane of Agony and Bane of Doom by 8%. I use Bane of Agony because on this server it does much more damage than Bane of Doom, and you want to get more burst out. And yeah, improved corruption 3 out of 3 increases the damage done by your corruption by 12%. That's a must. That's a must, because more damage, more pressure in arenas, all that good stuff. 2 out of 2 in Jinx. Your Curse of Elements also affects up to 15 nearby enemy targets within 40 yards of the cursed target. Also, your Curse of Weakness increases the target's energy, rage, focus, or runic power costs of abilities by 10% while active. So, if that made no sense to you, get it, because it made no sense to me either. No, basically, Curse of Elements is what does that say? So basically, what you're wanting for is increasing the magic damage taken by 8%. So that'll make your dots hit harder, basically. 2 out of 2 in Soul Siphon. Increase the amount drained by your Drain Life and Drain Soul spells by an additional 6% for each of your affliction effects on the target, up to a maximum of 18% additional effect. Damage, more damage. I said that. 2 out of 2 in Siphon Life. When you deal damage with your corruption spell, you have a 50% chance to be healed for 2% of your total health. So, excuse me. When you deal damage, you get healed. More health, more damage. Bingo. Curse of Exhaustion. I don't have it on my bars for some reason, but that's good for fighting melee classes, because it slows them down by 30% for 30 seconds, so keep that on them as much as possible. 3 out of 3 in Eradication. When you deal damage with corruption, you have a 6% chance to increase your spell casting speed by 20% for 10 seconds. Faster spell casting speed, more damage. Bingo. Improved Howl of Terror, 2 out of 2 in that, reduces the cast time of your Howl of Terror by 1.5 seconds, so that's basically makes it an instant cast, as you see there. Soul Swap, you instantly deal 1777 damage and remove your shadow or damage over time effects from the target. If you get the glyph of Soul Swap, it doesn't, it just leaves them on there and you can swap it to another person. I'll show you that afterwards. 3 out of 3 in Shadow Embrace. Your Shadow Bolt and Haunt spells apply the Shadow Embrace effect, increasing all shadow periodic damage dealt to the target by you by 5%. Stacks up to 3 times. More damage. Take it. 3 out of 3 in Death's Embrace. While at or below 25% health, your Drain Life heals an additional 3% of your total health. So if you go below 25% health, spam Drain Life with this talent. 2 out of 2 Nightfall gives your Corruption and Drain Life spells 4% chance to cause you to enter a Shadow Trance state. After damaging the opponent, the Shadow Trance state reduces the next casting time of your next Shadow Bolt by 100%. This is bugged on this server, I think, so you can just spam Shadow Bolt once it procs. 3 out of 3 in Everlasting Affliction increases the critical effect chance of your corruption, seed of corruption, and unstable affliction by 15%. And your Drain Life, Drain Soul, and Haunt spells have a 100% chance to reset the duration of the corruption spell on the target. Yeah. So basically, I'll show you the rotation after about what my rotation that I do. Tattoo in Pandemic reduces the global cooldown of your Bane and Curse spells by 0.5 seconds. And your Drain Soul has a 100% chance to refresh the duration of your Unstable Affliction when the dealing damage on target is below 25% health. So when the target is below 25% health, you want to use Drain Soul instead of Drain Life, because it does more damage when they're below 25% health. And Haunt, you send a ghostly soul towards the target, dealing 6-5-3-3 shadow damage, and increasing all damage done by your shadow damage over time effects, and on the target by 23% for 12 seconds. When the Haunt spell ends or dispelled, the soul returns to you, healing you for 100% of the damage it did to the target. So basically, that last bit is important. So however much your Haunt spell did to it, when it's dispelled or when it runs out, it will heal you for the amount of damage it did. So into the Demonology tree, we go 3 out of 3 in Dark Arts, reduces the cast time of your Imp's Firebolt by 0.75 seconds, increases the damage done by your Felguard's Legion Strike by 15%, increases the damage done by your Fell Hunter's Shadow Bite by 15%. It's more damage. I couldn't find anywhere else to put it, I don't think. But yeah. Oh, excuse me, just adjusting my headset. You have a 100% chance to heal your pet for 15% of the amount of spell damage done by you. So it's a less chance that your pet will die, but it's only got 23k health, so it'll die anyway. Increases 2 out of 2 in Demonic, whatever that says, Aegis, I don't know, can't spell. Can't talk. Increases the amount of health generated through spells and effects granted by your demon armor and additional 10%, and increases the amount of health returned by your Fell armor by 100%. I use Fell armor all the time, I don't know why, I just don't use demon armor. And last but not least, Demonic Rebirth. If your summoned demon dies, you gain the Demonic Rebirth effect, reducing the cast time of your summoned demon spells by 100%, lasts for 10 seconds. This effect has 2-minute cooldown. So if your pet is killed, or if your demon is killed, just spawn him again, because it's 100% thingy, 100% decreased spell casting time. So onto the glyphs. I've gone with Glyph of Corruption. Your corruption spell has a 4% chance to cause you to enter a shadow trance state after damaging the opponent. The shadow trance state reduces the casting time of your next shadow bolt by 100%. So that's bugged, because it just shadow bolt whenever that procs. Glyph of Haunt. The bonus damage granted by your Haunt spell is additional 3%. More damage, more Haunt. Glyph of Unstable Affliction decreases the casting time of your Unstable Affliction by 0.2 seconds. The faster you can get it out, the faster you can do more damage. Onto the major glyphs. Your Shadow Flame also applies a 70% movement speed slow to its victims. Howl of Terror reduces the cooldown of your Howl of Terror spell by 8 seconds. That's a good thing for getting people off you more. Glyph of Soul Swap. Your Soul Swap leaves your damage over time spells behind on the target you Soul Swap from, but gives Soul Swap a 30-second cooldown. So yeah, self-explanatory, and these aren't really important. I've just gone with Ritual of Souls, Enslaved Demon, and Curse of Exhaustion. Yeah, shut up. Announcement. So, onto stat priorities. Take note, I am only in Ruthless gear. I've only got my ring and my trinkets, I think. Is that all I've got? Cataclysmic. So yeah, that's all I've got in Cataclysmic. The rest is Ruthless. So what you want to have, I've gone for 10% hit chance just to be 100% safe. I don't know what the actual hit cap is for a warlock, but I think it's something like 17% or something stupid like that. I don't know. I've gone with 10%. My spell penetration is 324, but the minimum, absolute minimum, is 195. So make sure you've got 10% or higher hit chance. That is important. That's it really. For gems, I've gone with 54 intellect and 3 increased crit, and that's in the meta gem socket, and the rest of them I have gone with just pure intellect. For enchants, for the head, you want to have 60 intellect and 35 resilience, shoulders 50 intellect and 25 haste, your cloak spell penetration, chest 20 all stats, braces critical strike, weapon power torrent, offhand I don't have it for some reason, but you need superior intellect on that. Haste on your gloves, ebon steel belt buckle on your belt, pants 95 and intellect and 80 stamina, boots haste, and if you've got if you're on a server with enchanting profession, you can enchant your rings to intellect. So reforging, what you want to do is 100% haste. Do not reforge your hit, just reforge your crit, your mastery and all that stuff into haste. Pets and leg, good. So for your demons, I use the Fell Hunter against spellcasters because it has the silence, but I use the Succubus for melee because it has the what's it called? It has that, which is whiplash, which knocks them back within enemies back within 5 yards, and it has seduction, which is like a CC, a pet CC. So onto rotation, I start with a haunt, and then immediately after that an unstable affliction, and then immediately after that a corruption, and then a bane of agony, and then a curse of elements. So basically, the haunt, it's a dot. It goes on and increases the, what does it say? Increases all damage done by your shadow damage over, increases damage by your damage over time. So I put that on first, and then UAs, because that's a dot. Corruption's a dot, Bane of Agony is a dot, and Curse of Elements increases the damage even more. And then I immediately, once all the dots are on, I soul swap from one target to the next, and yeah, just dot everything up and try and stay alive, basically. So haunt, UA, corruption, Bane of Agony, Curse of Elements, soul swap, shadow bolt. See, look at the damage that it's doing. And then haunt, UA, you get the gist of it. And this is without my cooldowns. So yeah. You get the basic idea of that. See, look, I'm just spamming Shadow Bolt because it's bugged. And just look at that. Look at the dot damage. There you go. A nice 8k there. And that is in mostly Ruthless gear. And if you're starting to run low on mana, just do a life tap and drain life, and it keeps missing for some reason. There we go. And that's basically it for this tutorial. I'm going to be doing more guides, like rogue guides and all that. Just leave in the comments below what you want. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Take care. Goodbye.